Hello, my name is William Bootsy Blandon. I decided I'm going to stop saying welcome back because another YouTuber said that not everybody's already seen your video. So you shouldn't say or start with welcome back. But it's kind of a habit for YouTubers to say welcome back and then start. But I'm going to try not to say that. I want to take you along a journey because I like my flaws, and I don't want people to think that I have all the answers or that I'm perfect, because it kind of gives you hope. It kind of lets you see that, okay, this dude's a regular dude and he did it, so why can't I do it? I'm gonna go all the way back. When my daughter was young, I was a single father. I left the mom because she's a mess. Let's just leave it at that. But I'm a single father that truly loves his daughter, and he's willing to put up with the stress to even see her, as I'm sure some of you single fathers can relate. So I put up with the stress and drama to go see my daughter whenever necessary. My mentor was running a cell phone store. Anybody that personally knows me knows exactly who I'm talking about. His mentor, let's go back a little further. We both worked for his mentor that had a cell phone store that we thought he owned, but turns out he had partners. And he was dating my mentor's mother. So obviously my mentor's my age at the time. I think we're in our early 20s, if I remember correctly. And his mentor that was dating his mom was relatively young. He was probably only like 10 years older than us. I think he was about 30. His mom probably was in her 40s at the time. But it was shady. He taught my mentor to be shady. My mentor, years later, finds another partner. They start a cell phone store. But again, my mentor's shady. His partner, not really, or was trying not to be. So already, you can see where we're going with this. So my mentor teaches me how to be shady. And on top of all this, he's an extreme narcissist. I mean, I know women say that all the time about men, but he really was. And I looked at this person as more than just my boss, but my friend. And he kept just throwing up in my face that he had better things than me. And I think it was a pager that I wanted to get a deal on. He just wouldn't give me a deal on it. So I ended up stealing it, which was wrong. And I think that's where the crack in our relationship came, where, granted I was wrong, there was never the same trust going forward in the future. Fast forward, his business fails. He was never there. I was basically managing and running the store, even though he didn't necessarily trust me. He had no choice. He wasn't paying me much either. So fast forward, I start my own cell phone store, but not really knowing how to run a cell phone store. So that was my problem, because the whole time I had my cell phone store, I really didn't know how to run a business. So the business really didn't make any money. And it was paying out money. We're paying out rent. I happened to be in a very expensive city. I was in Stamford, Connecticut, paying like $1,500 rent every month without really making any money. So any money coming in that trickled in went right back out. So obviously that business didn't last. I did stay in the wireless cell phone industry for years after that. Sprint, Nextel, Yeah, Sprint, Nextel. I don't think I did much else. I did some online sales. I went back to retail, and my final retail job was Bed Bath & Beyond, and believe it or not, I lasted 10 years. But in my soul, I always was an entrepreneur. And while I was at Bed Bath, I still dabbled with online sales here and there, little bit. You guys know, if you've been in the game a while, it's trickling in. It's like, $30 a month here, $40 a month there. It's not enough. So I finally give up on retail and I start driving Uber. This is around the end of 2017. And this is when the Uber money was a lot better. But my grandmother dies, and this is where things start falling apart. At the time, I'm living with my grandmother, my mom, and my brother. Nobody wants to pay rent. Nobody wants to pay bills. My grandmother's gone, so that was a Social Security check coming in. So that was money coming in that was greatly needed. So there's a collapse there. Me and my brother ended up, separating because I think he blamed me for a lot of the things we've been through. And we had a business at a time that really wasn't making any money. So, but you see how when you don't have a mentor, you keep making mistake after mistake after mistake. This is why mentors are important, really. So me and my brother go our separate ways. I believe he's still in Waterbury, Connecticut. I'm up here in the Hartford area. Excuse me. I'm up here in the Hartford area, and what I finally started doing and figuring out is I just stopped doing a business with a plan. I was watching E. Dean Cole, the guy that eventually I find out was a scammer, but he did teach me that a management company is just better suited for an entrepreneur who doesn't know what he wants to do. So I set up my holding company, my first holding company, and it can't fail because it's not really set up or designed to do anything. It's strictly online. It's my affiliate marketing money goes in there. At the time it was Integrity, but we know how that goes. Now it's my NWR money. It's, anything that I'm doing goes in my holding company account, even my Uber and Lyft money, and then that cuts me a check. So now what I'm doing different is I have a real business that really pays me a check. So now I have a job, which was a problem for years because any bank, if I go apply for a mortgage or a house or anything like that, I don't have a job. Now the beauty with my structure now is, let's say I want to go buy a house and I want to qualify for a house. All I got to do is a month or 2 months before is give myself a raise if the money's coming in. And now I qualify for that mortgage or house or property because I have the pay stubs. This is what I'm doing different. Step 2, even though I failed all that time, even all the way back then when I was still at Bed Bath & Beyond, I kept 2 of my YouTube channels. And I periodically post. I didn't post every day or anything like that. It might have been once a month. But I kept the channels, even to this day. One of them is Shania Business. And the other one is William Bootsy Blandon. So I kept posting. And I knew that video was going to be the future. And I reached out to this so-called mentor on Instagram. And he laughed when he saw my Instagram. And he was promoting Instagram like Instagram is the only platform that's going to do well in the future. Even he knew that YouTube would be better, but no one wanted to start a YouTube channel back then. It was all about Instagram. That's all you heard was Instagram, Instagram, Instagram. No one wanted to talk about YouTube at all. And I just knew that YouTube one day would be my future. Fast forward to now, I figured out how to use YouTube to start a media company. And I know by starting a media company, I would be able to one day generate enough revenue to put into that media company separate from the company I already have now, which would further propel me to do what I have to do, which is purchase a property at some point in time, possibly get a brick and mortar location or store in the future, and I'm finally going to be successful in 2023 because I have a real business. Thank you. Listen to my story. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, click that bell notification, and I will see you guys in the next one.